Have you ever met someone in their 70s or 80s? Sitting quietly, never in a rush, rarely getting angry, and somehow seeming to understand something about life that many younger people still don't. They are not always richer, not always healthier, not always living a perfect life. Yet there is a certain peace within them, a wisdom that is difficult to explain. And that wisdom usually doesn't come from books. It doesn't come from school. It doesn't come from theories. It comes from decades of living. From failures, from losses, from mistakes, from wounds they have carried and survived. Because there are some life lessons that can only be truly understood after someone has traveled a very long road in life. And today, we're going to talk about those lessons. Lesson 1. Time is far more valuable than money. When people are young, many spend their lives chasing money. They work hard. They work overtime. They pursue promotions. They chase success. And there is nothing wrong with that. But as the years pass, many people begin to realize something important. Money can be earned again. But time can never be recovered. No one can buy back a single day that has already passed, no matter how wealthy they become. And once someone truly understands this, the way they live begins to change. They value time with family more. They appreciate their health more. They treasure the time they still have. Because they realize that time is life's most valuable asset. Lesson 2. Not everything is worth arguing about. When people are younger, many want to be right all the time. They want to win every argument. They want to prove their point. They want validation from others. But with age, they begin to realize that not every battle is worth winning. Because some victories destroy relationships. Some arguments only drain energy. And some people will never change. Older people often choose peace over being right. Because they have learned that peace is far more valuable than ego. Lesson 3. Health is the real wealth. Many people only understand the importance of health when they begin losing it. When we're young, our bodies feel strong, energy seems endless, and health feels guaranteed. But aging teaches a different lesson. Because when the body starts to weaken, people begin to realize that achievements mean very little without good health. A large house cannot replace a healthy body. A large bank account cannot always remove pain. And in the end, health is one of the greatest forms of wealth anyone can possess. Lesson 4. Very few people truly care. When we're young, our social circles often seem large. Many friends, many acquaintances, many people around us. But age reveals something interesting. When difficult times arrive, when problems appear, when health declines, that is when you discover who truly cares. And often, the number is much smaller than expected. This lesson teaches many older adults to value genuine relationships, because they learn that quality matters far more than quantity. Lesson 5. Happiness doesn't come from having more. Many people spend their lives thinking, I'll be happy when I have this. I'll be happy when I achieve that. I'll be happy when my life becomes perfect. But after decades of living, many discover that happiness doesn't work that way. Because there is always something else to want. Always another goal. Always another desire. And if happiness is constantly postponed until everything is perfect, it never truly arrives. Old age teaches that happiness is often found in simple things. A warm conversation, a meal with family, fresh morning air, a grandchild's laughter, or simply a peaceful day. Lesson 6. Life is not always fair. This is one of the hardest lessons. Many people grow up believing that life always rewards effort fairly. But reality is often different. Good people suffer. Honest people get hurt. Hardworking people don't always receive the outcomes they deserve. And age teaches that accepting this truth brings peace. Because not everything can be controlled. And not every question has an answer. Lesson 7. Forgiveness is more important than holding grudges. The longer someone lives, the more reasons they have to feel hurt. They may be betrayed. disappointed, rejected, or treated unfairly. But many older people eventually realize that resentment hurts them more than anyone else, because resentment keeps old wounds alive, while forgiveness creates room for peace. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean excusing someone's actions. It simply means freeing yourself from a burden you were never meant to carry forever. Lesson 8. Life moves much faster than you think. When you're young, 10 years feels like a very long time. But as you grow older, the years seem to pass faster and faster. Suddenly your children are grown. Suddenly your hair is gray. Suddenly you're living in an age that once felt far away. And that realization creates a powerful awareness. Life waits for no one, which is why many older people learn to appreciate today. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Lesson 9. Being yourself is incredibly liberating. Many people spend their younger years trying to meet other people's expectations, seeking approval, seeking acceptance, trying to become the person others want them to be. But age teaches a different lesson. True freedom begins when someone stops pretending. When they accept who they are, their strengths, their weaknesses, and everything in between. Life becomes much lighter after that. Final lesson. Love is what matters most. At the end of life, people rarely remember the car they drove, the title they held, or the amount of money they accumulated. What they remember are the people. The spouse who stood beside them, the family they loved, the friends who stayed, the moments they shared together. Because in the end, what makes life meaningful is not what we own. It is who we share life with. Closing. Perhaps this is why many older people seem calmer. Not because life became easier, but because they learned lessons that take decades to understand. Lessons that cannot be taught by books, cannot be bought with money, and cannot be learned overnight, because true wisdom is often born from time, from experience, and from the courage to keep moving forward, even when life doesn't go according to plan. And perhaps, if we listened to older people more often, we might learn some of these lessons a little earlier.